everyone, thanks for joining me today with Stamping and Crafting with Loretta. Today I'm going to show you how to take the binding out of an existing journal. I do recommend that if you want to do this, that you do it before you've started to work on the pages inside. It will just later on make the process of rebinding it easier, number one, and number two, it makes the pages a little easier to work with because they're equally flat on both sides most of the time. And right now this journal is to a point to where I want to start gluing some more pages together. I usually glue 2 or 3 before or 2 or 3 after. And then while I'm working on them, I put a piece of wax paper on the one before. You don't necessarily have to do it on the one after, but I do. That way if paint or glue or whatever seeps up underneath it, then I'm good to go. It's not going to stick. So we're just going to take a pair of handy dandy wire snips. Don't have to be fancy. Ladies, if you don't have some of these, don't buy them. If you happen to be married or you're living with a man, there's a really good chance he has a really big pair of what I call industrial wire cutters somewhere, and you can use those. You can also use pliers to cut these wires or just pry them out. So I like to cut them just because in my particular case there is so much gunk on these wires that they're going to be kind of hard to cut, and I might just have to go get my husband's industrial wire cutters and come back. So on that happy thought, hold on. Ta-da! If you don't wear glasses or you're afraid that little snippets of metal or materials is going to come flying up, I really recommend a pair of safety goggles. And these are going to be stubborn. That's what I mean by do it before you get started. You won't regret it later. So I'm just gonna pry them out. It takes quite a bit of force if you want to cut through these wires to cut through them. But it looks like this one, in spite of what I thought, it's going to be easier to do by just prying the wires. So what you can do is just go along. You can use these, or you can use, like I said, a pair of pliers. And you're just going to keep pulling these wires to a point to where you can start removing the pages. I'm going to put you in fast forward mode. The front part of the journal out. Now we're going to start taking out the back, and this one actually slipped through the back cover, as you can kind of see there. I'm going to snip these loops and then slip the wires right out of this binding. I've been asked several times what kind of mixed media journal this is. It is actually a Strathmore journal. Strathmore, excuse me. And I bought it at my local big box store. When these go on sale, they're usually fairly inexpensive, and I'll buy 2 or 3 in different sizes. just to have on hand. They also, since they're not really expensive, make really nice gifts. Pair it with a few inexpensive art supplies for someone who wants to get started with this kind of thing, and you have a great gift for any occasion or just because you care about someone, which is always great. And this is the last one that needs to be snipped, and they're all free. So I'm just going to slip these right out of the binding. You'll just want to discard these in with your regular trash. You could put them in with your recycling if you want, but since I have 3 small dogs, it's better for these just to go in the trash can so I don't risk having them fall out of my recycling bin. As a general rule, if it's fairly small, then it's going to go in the trash instead of recycling. In our home, just because of the dogs, like I said, it's the same thing if you have small children who tend to get into things. You probably want to put this old wire in the trash somewhere. Better safe than sorry, trust me. I hope everyone is going to enjoy the transition from 2014 into 2015. I cannot believe this year is going to be over in just a little over 24 short hours. It does not seem possible. I am thankful in many ways that this year has gone a little bit more quickly. We are getting ready to have some really exciting things happen in our life. But number one is that our granddaughter is due to arrive on the 21st of January. Unless she decides to come early, that is when she's going to be delivered. So we are extremely excited to be welcoming this little one. I don't think they've got a name yet, but I'm sure they will soon. So anyway, now that that is unbound, I'm going to take a baby wipe. You can take a sticky roller or some tape or whatever you have handy to wipe off all the dust, and I'm going to carefully take this out of my way. Well, before I do, I'm going to kind of knock off the pieces. But I'm not sure if you can see on my craft mat or not, all the little specks. Zoom in a lot so you can see what I'm talking about. But all these little specks are actually tiny little pieces of that wire and of the paint that was on those wires. So we don't want those to go airborne and get in the dog's mouth. And I certainly don't want them all over me to accidentally get one in my eye or, you know, get cut by a tiny piece that I didn't see. So to prevent that, we're just going to pick up this little scratch piece of paper, leave my baby wipe right there, roll this up, nice little package so it doesn't leak. There I am. And then real carefully get off all these little pieces off my craft mat. And that's all there is to it. So if you need to unbind your journal, that's how you do it. And so this is what it looks like now. All these pages are loose for the most part. They are kind of stuck together from the paint. That's why it's, once again, a better idea to just do this before you ever really start on a journal than after. And so this one is going to get a few more pages of loving and rebound, and it will be ready to go. So once again, here's the page I just did yesterday for you to enjoy looking at. I hope you guys do give art journaling a try. If you do, I'd love to see your work. So private message me here on YouTube, send me a message on Facebook, our blogger, and of course, as always, you can email me. My email information is on my blog under the main banner heading with the Contact Us button. So have a great day. Stamp happy. Be a blessing. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.